Hi, I'm back. It's been a while. I haven't been here for like 11 months. Because the last time I checked, I uploaded way back in January. Just a little intro. Hi, I'm Julia, and I'm a creative slash knitwear designer based in Manila. And yeah, I post videos here from time to time. I just want to catch up on things. So currently, I am wearing one of these like little vests that I've knitted last year. So this is made from I couldn't stand up. This is made out of Malabrigo Rios yarn, which is merino wool together with banana fiber. And to be honest, it's a bit warm if you wear it on top of something because I mean it's wool. It keeps you warm. And I have here with me a whip, which is this sweater. So as you can see, it is this really colorful blue, pink, and lime green color. This is also Malabrigo Rio. So I've been working on this for months now. And this is the first time that I did a raglan sweater, which I wrote the pattern by myself. It was really a lot of trial and error. So I did a twisted rib for the collar so it looks cleaner because I really don't like the look of like the one by one rib because sometimes it just looks wonky for some reason. I also did some eyelets for this one just to add a bit of texture, and I'm almost done with the body. And yeah, excited to see how this looks like finish. Hopefully I finish it before the year ends. I'm sorry, the light just like keeps on changing so much. Today I'm just gonna be knitting and chatting with you with what happened over the past months, even if no one actually really asked. But yeah, I just want to share some things with you. So the last time I uploaded was way back in January, and a lot has happened since then. So, just for context, a little background about me. My profession, like my actual day job, is I'm working in the creative industry as an art director slash designer. And I was working in the advertising industry for like 6 years. And then last May, I decided to quit my job and pivot into another direction, which is still in the creative industry but already out of advertising. So I have been wanting to shift directions in terms of like my career, like my creative work, and I think that is one of like the best decisions that I had. I think I'm just more mentally at peace and more still. So currently I'm still working as an art director, but technically I'm not like a regular employee anymore. So the thing though that stressed me out with moving from being an employee to like technically a self-employed individual entity is the taxes. I think it stressed me out more than my actual job. It was a lot of learning about taxes and like money, adult stuff. Basically, like, I don't know, being more independent when it comes to like those kinds of things, especially with finances. Yeah, at first I thought like I can do like the taxes by myself, but then I don't want to get like penalties and stuff, so I had to hire someone. Just like, some realizations that you cannot do everything on your own. That was earlier this year around May, so I didn't really take any break when I moved from my other job because I just jumped straight away to my new one. Yeah, but so far it's been good. The number one thing that I'm really thankful for is that it's a fully remote job, so I can take my job anywhere, I can take my work anywhere, and I actually find more time for my hobbies, like for knitting and for exploring different things. My cat is here. Okay, she's a bit pissed. This year too, I went to Italy to visit my boyfriend. It was wild because I had to get a visa, the Schengen visa application. We started processing it the earliest in June for my departure in September. And it was, I can say, aside from the taxes, it was one of the most stressful things that I've done. I literally had like this pile of paper going to the visa application center, and it took me a month or like more than a month to gather all the documents because I had to get like all the bank statements. I had to get documents from my boyfriend's and it was just a lot. I had to get like my income tax returns. It was just like a lot, way lot of printing and stuff. But overall, it was worth it. I stayed in Italy for a total of 6 weeks. I left home the last week of September. It was a 32-hour journey. I left Manila like early in the morning because my flight was at 9 a.m. So it was like around 8:55 something. I was nervous because it was my first time flying alone. So I haven't like flown alone internationally and that far. I was thinking like, oh, it's like what? Almost 11,000 kilometers to my boyfriend's hometown. I was a bit nervous. I was like, what if I get lost in the airport? What if something goes wrong with my luggage? But thankfully, it went well. From Manila all the way to Doha, Qatar, because that's where my layover is. It's around 9 hours and 30, so it was a long one. I was actually supposed to be like seated in the middle, which I was dreading. Thank goodness the one that was sitting beside me near the aisle found another seat and then left. So there was a free seat in the middle. So I was able to actually sleep fine and rest. So there was an empty seat beside me. So at least I was able to get a bit of a room. Overall, it was a decent flight all the way to Doha. Yeah, I arrived in Doha, I think at 2 in the afternoon, and I did some work. And can I just say the Doha airport is so nice. For an 11-hour layover, it's pretty nice to hang around there. Like, I did some work, I read, I took a shower, and I spent like, I think, 700 pesos for an avocado toast. Yeah, overall, it was a nice layover. I didn't mind being there for 11 hours. I saw that they have like this transit thing where you can like go outside and like see places around Doha, like you get eligible for that thing if you have a long layover. But I was afraid to like miss my next flight, even though it was 11 hours. But you know, I just didn't want to go through the immigration again and stuff. And after that was my flight to Rome. It was around 8 hours. Overall, it was a decent flight. I mean, the plain food, it was okay. It was nice. He just gave us like really a lot of potatoes. It was the first time that I experienced jet lag. It felt like as if like I was hungover and I was like dizzy, head achy, and like just overall tired. It just like hit me like a truck when I landed in Rome. So from Terminal 3, I had to go to Terminal 1 for the domestic flight. And I waited there for around 4 hours. I stayed in Sardinia until the second day of November. And then we did a little trip from Pisa, Florence to Rome. Anyway, Pisa was cute. We stayed there just for a day and then we went to Florence and oh my god, Florence was so nice. It was super nice. I think out of all the three, Florence is my favorite because that city, every corner that you take, every turn that you make, wow, that rhymes. Every after that you make, you just like see the palazzo there. You can walk along Ponte Vecchio like at night, and it was like the most wonderful thing. Fell in love with Florence. We visited the Uffizi Gallery, and it was free because it turns out that every first Sunday of the month, the entrance fee is free, which was nice. It was a really long line though, but overall it was definitely worth it. We were at the Uffizi for I think 2 or 3 hours. There was a lot to see. Like so much art that it's like even overwhelming. The day after, we visited the archaeological museum, which is very underrated. Like they have Egyptian collections, which is a lot. And I found this like really old knitted pieces, which was really interesting. We also visited a yarn shop which is called Campolmi. I was actually not thinking of buying any more yarn because when I was in Sardinia, I already bought a lot of yarn online. I bought from this shop called Fiordilana and then from Katia. At first, I thought Katia was Italian, and it turns out it was from Spain. But yeah, they have like really nice yarns. I'm gonna do, I think, a separate video for the yarn haul because it was just like a lot. I had a migraine just like trying to fit all my yarns in my luggage because I just brought a 25 kilogram one, which is like small now that I think about it. And I tried to stuff as much of my yarn there as possible. When I was buying yarn, I actually bought the yarns that I couldn't get here. So I bought a lot of sadness yarn, like wool, linen, merino, cotton merino, those types of fibers that I couldn't see here. But I mostly bought stuff online. So when we went to Florence, I was not thinking anymore of buying any more yarn because I had too much. But then my boyfriend told me like, oh, there's this, maybe we can visit a yarn shop here. And yeah, he's really supportive of like my hobbies. And I'm like, oh, okay, maybe we can check this out. We checked another yarn shop before Campolmi, and it was closed. I forgot what it's called, but it's near our place, like the center, but it was closed because it turns out like some places are like either closed on Mondays or they open later in the day, and we went there like still in the morning. Yeah, we went to Campolni, and it was this really nice, cute yarn shop. When we went to Campolni, right when you enter, they have a lot of different kinds of wool from different islands. They have Norwegian, like Irish wool, a whole variety of fibers too, like cotton, linen, acrylic. So there's a whole bunch of stuff when you enter, and they have like this corner for like discounted offers and stuff. And the other like side is like just full of really, really colorful wool. So I wasn't able to film inside. I was a bit shy. I was a bit shy to ask to. But yeah, overall had a good experience there because I was specifically looking for hand-dyed yarns and like local wool from Italy because I would like to take something home that's like from the place. So we talked to the staff there. My boyfriend asked because like my Italian was like really so bad, but turns out like they also spoke English, which is good. So yeah, so my boyfriend asked if they have like hand-dyed yarns that are, or if they have like local wool. Kindly enough, they picked something from their stock room, from their back room, and this guy like pulled out boxes of different yarns, which he was so kind. And they said they are experimenting on different plant dyes. He pulled out this bunch of yarns with different colors, mostly in like cooler and warm tones of yellow, beige, and gray. And they use specifically plants like lavender and I forgot the other one, but it's this yellow Mediterranean plant that they use. And they use different methods like solar solar dyeing, cold and hot dyeing. So the guy explained to me, because I asked like, oh, do you have local yarns like wool that comes from Italy? And she said no, because they source their wool from other countries like Australia. I don't know if Peru was included, but yeah, other countries, not Italy. Because it turns out that the quality of the wool from the sheep in Italy is not that good for lana, for wool. It's good for cheese, but not good for like yarn or fiber. So they mostly get it from other countries. So I was like, okay, like I'll still take anyway some of the yarns that he showed us, because they were really beautiful and they come in this really, some are like vibrant and some are muted tones. In my head I was thinking like, oh, in Italy they have a lot of sheep, so maybe they produce like their own wool. But yeah, turns out the quality is not that good. So yeah, he said though that maybe if we go up in the mountains we'll find some, but we didn't have the time anymore. I think that was one of the highlights too in visiting Florence. It was an overall nice experience. Would definitely recommend you coming there if you're looking for some yarn. I don't know if there are any other yarn shops there around, but I think they have a lot of stuff in their back room. So if maybe you're looking for something specific, you just ask like their staff, and overall they're nice. After Florence, we took the train going to Rome, and it was rainy when we arrived in Rome. So we basically just like saw the things to see around, like the Colosseum, the Pantheon. I didn't look at any more yarn shops in Rome because I have way too much stuff in my bag. I just bought some pasalubong, some stuff to bring home to friends and family. The morning after, it was my flight back home, and my boyfriend's too, because he needs to take the plane going back to Sardinia. I think it was also a full flight. And in Doha, I just had a 2-hour layover this time. And yeah, overall, it was a nice trip. It was a nice like working holiday, because I also worked while I was there. Since I work in my local time, I had to wake up at like 3 a.m. because there was the daylight saving thing, right? I had to wake up like early in the morning, and then I finished work like around lunchtime. Overall, it was like really nice, especially in Sardinia. The life is like so different, and the air, the beach. When I came back here at the city, it's like, I noticed how like heavy the air is and how busy everything is. It was the best place to like just knit after work, go to the beach, take walks. We took a lot of walks there. It was just such a nice place. The weather, oh my god, I actually miss the weather, because right now here in Manila it's like been hot. It's like 30 degrees. I mean, we don't have autumn and winter. We just had like summer and rainy season. And that in itself is still like inconsistent. Yeah, also during my stay in Italy, I was able to try out my weekend hat by Petite Knit. It was nice. It really helped me with the cold, and it was warm enough for my head. So I think going back to my home to Manila, it was just a 16-hour travel time, and I didn't think anymore of like knitting, because this is another topic, a topic on knitting needles on the plane. Are they allowed or not? Going back to the days before my flight going to Italy, going back to that time, I was thinking if I can actually knit in the airport, because I had an 11-hour layover, right? So I asked on Instagram if anyone had experience in bringing knitting needles on the plane, and there was a majority of the answers that said like, oh, it's totally fine if you're afraid. just bring like bamboo or wooden knitting needles, and they said they didn't have any problems with them. Security didn't check, but yeah, just for safety, I just brought with me some circular bamboo knitting needles. So I took like a little beanie project with me. So I knitted a bit in Doha, but I put my other set of knitting needles in my check-in luggage because I didn't want to risk like security getting those needles because they're expensive. But security didn't even check the one in my hand carry, so I guess it's okay. But I mean, for me, I really didn't want to risk it. So I think it's better if you're flying, let's say you don't want to risk losing any of your needles, especially like the expensive ones. I think it's better to bring like a spare one if you're thinking of like knitting in the airport. I don't know though if you can knit inside the plane. I haven't tried it. But anyway, let me know what are your experiences in bringing knitting needles in the plane, because it was like so vague. Because I asked my airline, it was Qatar Airways, if I can bring knitting needles, and they basically said no, it was considered like as a sharp object. But then when I arrived in Qatar, security didn't confiscate the knitting needle in my hand carry bag. So yeah, I don't know, maybe it's really just like vague when it comes to knitting needles. So another thing that I've been working on is this free pattern. I've been working on this for months now. It's for the Flora headband pattern. I did custom orders for this like earlier this year. I actually have it here with me. I don't know yet when I'm gonna be like releasing it. Hopefully by early next week. I think maybe if you're like looking for a quick gift to knit to gift to someone, I think it would be nice. So yeah, I'll be giving an update. Also, I have a couple of projects lined up, like patterns. I got some pattern from a Knit. I don't know how to pronounce her name properly. I got the Oba sweater pattern. I got another one that I forgot. Oh, I remember now. The Ingrid slip over by Petite Knit. So I've been wanting to do that. Looking at the pattern, it overwhelmed me a bit. But yeah, those are just like some patterns I'm gonna be, that is like in next up in my knitting project list. I'm so sorry if this like really all over the place. I haven't recorded in months. Is the progress of this sweater. Let me know if you have any main suggestions for this one. Look at how pretty this is. I'm excited to finish this, like especially the sleeves. To be honest, I think this is my last colorful phase, at least for now, because most of the yarns that I got, my recent yarn acquisitions, are mostly neutrals, and I just noticed it. I think that's it for this video. I hope you guys have a good day, and I'm gonna see you in the next one.